Canuck fans, it's time to get started with the Jersey Off Our Backs ceremony. Don't forget, we're going to be calling one more seat location to receive our final sweater of the evening. First, your opportunity to hear it for the players for a great game and a great season. Now, a chance for you to win the jersey off the back of a Vancouver Canuck. Our first winner is Al Davis of North Vancouver. Al opens his envelope. He holds up number 19. Marcus Naslund is delivering his jersey to Al Davis. Not only that, Marcus is now going to autograph that game-worn jersey. Our next winner is David Williamson of Vancouver. David, the envelope, please. Hold up that number. David wins Steve Staios jersey.
Well, this is a unique end to the season for the Vancouver hockey fans. Selected at random with a draw from their seat location. Fans have come down onto the ice and are being handed the game-worn jerseys from tonight. There's Steve Staios handing his sweater. Marcus Naslund was the first one given away.
Yeah, it's a neat idea. You know, a lot of these people will cherish these uniforms. Sometimes in sports stores and such, people say that they're game-worn jerseys. This one, Jim, you'll know is a game-worn jersey. I
like the way Steve signed that. He put his number on there as well. Because years later, you look at that name and you might not be able to figure it out because sometimes signatures are hard to see, but you see the number. There's a young fan with Adrian Aucoin. Is that Adrian Aucoin? No. Who is that? That's Trent Klatt. Yeah. Trent Klatt's sweater. And this has been done other places, I believe, but I've never seen anything like this here in Vancouver. And I know for the players, after losing in the last few seconds in a losing season, this might not be an easy thing, but they've got to put things in perspective. They've got to realize that people pay to go to these games. We know they have great talent. They've gone through a lot when you think of the thousands who play hockey that can get to this level in the best league in the world. But there are times when I'm sure this is the kind of thing a player might not want to do, but they've got to put it in its place and realize they're doing a good thing for these loyal fans.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jimmy, especially here in Vancouver. It's got to be interpersonal. It's the way that they attack and connect with the community, and this is a good way to do it.
And of course the injured players are also involved here. We just saw Bertuzzi. There he is signing his sweater. And Bert Robertson, the young Swede, is going to come out and hand over his sweater. Converted from defense to forward this season. Got in a lot of NHL play this year. And many thought, I'm sure, that he might not get to this level, but here he is.
Bert Robertson has been a bit of an unsung hero in my mind. Hasn't played a lot. And now we've got Kevin Weeks, the young goaltender that came over in the Pavel Bure trade. And you have to be impressed with his attitude, Jim. He has stayed up through some very difficult circumstances. 11 games played, no wins so far, but his attitude hasn't shown.
Well, you know, this fan who's just won his sweater is hoping that Weeks' sweater turns out to be a valuable one. You never know about the future. Same for this young man, Schaefer, who unfortunately injured his shoulder late in the season when he was playing very well.
Sure was. He got hit by Ron Sutter and hurt the shoulder. Dave Gagner had two pretty good games right at the end of this season. Probably his best game. I thought the best game that Gagner had was in Dallas, that first game that he played for the Vancouver Canucks. They've had a tough season, but has responded a little better here in the last couple games.
The young lady will get Jason York's sweater, and I was wondering how they were going to do this, how they could call people from the stands, but it's obviously well organized. They put the numbers up on the board at one stage so people could come down and prepare for the end of the game. There's another injured Canuck. Brad May broke his hand. He's a very personable guy. He'll have a good conversation with this fan. Darby Hendrickson had an excellent game tonight, one of his best games of the season, and of course came to the Canucks in a trade from the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, big Chris McAllister went the other way. Darby Hendrickson will be a handy utility player for the Canucks in the future.
Jason Strudwick, who we mentioned in the telecast tonight, is being maybe the most improved Canuck from the start of the season. Mike Keenan first, and then Mark Crawford both gave this young man lots of ice time. Corey Hirsch, you have to feel for the emotions that he's gone through, and the crowd's responding here to Corey. Hasn't been able to practice even with the team lately. He's sort of the odd man out, and we'll hope he stays in the National League. We'll know he'll be in pro hockey next year somewhere.
Yeah, there's the expansion draft coming up for Corey Hirsch this season. And again, next season, there's two new teams coming in Minnesota and Ohio. Sorry, that would be the following season. Atlanta next year.
As the Canuck players continue to isn't that great little kid wearing a great big sweater? Adrian Aucoin, this will be a prize sweater. What a year Adrian's had. Unfortunately, in the last few seconds tonight, the winning goal, I believe, tipped off his stick, but it's been a good year for Adrian. And, you know, all along in talking to Adrian the last couple of years, he said, you know you can play in the league. Right? He's got all the skills. You know he can play in the league. And this year, he proved it 100%. Josh Holden, who had such a great career in junior, a first-round draft pick of the Canucks, and we'll hope he has a big future here in Vancouver. And there's a fellow wearing a Canuck sweater of the past, getting a Canuck sweater of the present from a solid defenseman in Brian McCabe, who has good leadership qualities.
Brian McCabe played more than any player in tonight's game, and he's done that for a long time. Snowy Bird. Gar Snow goes over and gives his huge sweater to this young man.
Yeah. That'll cover up the road Canuck sweater with a home Canuck sweater that'll be even more valuable, game worn by Garth Snow.
Those people don't mind the sweat, Jim.
Jovanovski, that'll be another big sweater. Big 22-year-old defenseman. Came to the Canucks under some pressure, of course, in the trade for popular Pavel Bure. Bill McCulloch, another hard-luck guy. He was a serious contender for Rookie of the Year. I don't think there's any way he'll win that award now, but what a fine rookie season for the British Columbia boy. Came out of the University of Michigan, and a lucky winner have his sweater. And here's Donald Brashear's lucky fan.
Yeah, Billy McCulloch, just to go back to him, 36 points in 73 games played. Look at the tiny little shoulder pads on Donald Brashear. When I played in Montreal, Jimmy, there was a lot of players that just wore the caps like that. And that certainly allows Donald to be mobile when he needs to be.
You mean when he's throwing punches? We'll get into a scrap tonight. Matthias Oland, another key Canuck who finished the season on the injured list. I have a feeling that sweater is going to be a value.
Yeah, Matthias Oland has been a solid player since the inception of his time here with the Canucks.
As John Ashbridge continues to announce the lucky winners, Alexander McGillney's sweater, number 89. He can frustrate you at times because you know he's got the great talent. But he's a popular guy with his teammate, and he has such tremendous skill.
I think Mark Crawford is going to hang in there with Alexander McGillney. He knows that he's a player. He knows that he needs that type of skill. Mark Messier is saying, what about me?
Well, they're going to call a number now. And who gets Messier's sweater?
Section 122.
Section
row number 18. seat 102. It is you. Come on down.
Well, that's a very popular sweater, of course, and a Hall of Famer in the future, no doubt about it. Mark Messier is going to the Hall of Fame as sure as tomorrow is, what is tomorrow? Thursday. Boy, this is a valuable sweater to win. And you know, Mark's handled himself very well here. He's gets some criticism. When you make a lot of money, the criticism comes with it sometimes. But he bounced back from a poor year last year. He's had a lot of injuries this year. The big hug from the Canuck captain.
Yeah, Mark Messier, there's absolutely no doubt, Jim, that when he was in the lineup, the Canucks had a large chance to win, and when he wasn't, they really struggled. And Mark Crawford has talked about that. But that will be a great sweater right there.
And speaking of sweaters, the National Hockey League has to retire number 99. If Gretzky retires on Sunday, which is expected, the whole league, the league should retire 99. As Mark Messier's old teammate is expected to retire Sunday. That was a nice gesture there, a nice finish to this ceremony. There are the lucky fans with Canuck game-worn sweaters. Quite a ceremony, Ryan.
Wonderful ceremony, Jim, and we look forward to a great season next year.
Well, a nice finish to a season that had a lot of downs in it, and it wound up with a 5-4 Calgary victory at General Motors.